So you've returned. Little interested in our dark tale of Plaguestone. Well, this once again is Really Playing Games, the fall of Plaguestone. I'm Graham, and I play Thugrin Barkbiter, the Dwarven Druid.
And I'm Sarah. I play Lyra. I forgot my last name.
Lazarine,
the rogue half-elf.
now you're a ranger.
Oh, right. See, I told you forget.
I'm Brian, and I play Lina Bellis, the halfling barbarian.
I'm Garrett. I play Ruckus, the goblin bard.
I'm Ross. I'm playing Aviana, the human wizard.
I'm also Ross, and I'm playing Arder Dougal, the human champion.
Patrick, I am the game master. I am running these individuals through this. Well, so far it's been a journey. So last time we met the party, you all signed on to take a long trip to the city of Almas. You kind of hired, really sort of were hired by Bort Bargeth. I will never not show you his picture.
Bort.
Because he is fabulous, and he has a fabulous beard.
Such beautiful eyes.
So
He is a dwarven merchant who really just wanted some folks to make sure that the caravan got to Almas safely. So he, essentially let you buy passage for just a few coppers, not much money at all. In return, you agreed that you would defend the caravan should something untoward happen. So you set out from Almas or toward Almas, and it took you 2-3 days for anything particularly interesting to happen. But you met the rest of the caravan, some interesting people. You are riding with Cookie, who is an elderly, and for an elf that makes him really old, elderly elf. He is the cook, that's why he's called Cookie. Seems to be pretty friendly. He's in your wagon with you. Let's see. And then you were attacked by some wolves. Some wolves that had some weird things going on. Some mange at the very least. You defeated these wolves, which Bort, if he didn't say it, he will say it. You have earned your keep. He offered to buy you all dinner at Plaguestone. Well, he actually says at Etrin's Folly. He is the person who calls it Etrin's Folly. But just before the wolves attacked, Cookie said, Plaguestone up ahead. You'll be there soon. You pushed the wagons out of a rut that they had gotten in when the horses panicked after being attacked by wolves. Horses don't like that. And yeah, you are all ready to pile in. Bort says, everybody, let's get back on the road. We don't want to get to Etrin's Folly too late.
Climb aboard.
No one's hurt, are they?
Where I was sitting. I'm down 5 hit points.
I think
Which
Open
is-
Claw's fine.
I'm about a quarter injured.
Like, the rest of the caravan. Nobody is, like,
Oh yeah.
really badly injured.
None full.
Alright.
Yeah, you look around and everybody else seems to be okay. Ulf and Ulf each have axes that they were kind of fending off some wolves. They didn't kill any of them, but the rest of the wolves seem to have run away after you killed the big one.
Cool. I'm gonna lay my hands on Lina's head. And I'm gonna restore 6 hit points.
Good.
Thank you.
Walking light, small warrior. Back on the wagon.
If someone's real bad, I can break out my medicine bag and treat your wounds.
I think we'll be quite alright.
Suit yourself. Come, Oak and Claw, let's keep a move on.
So everybody piles in the wagon.
Yep.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So what do you got in that medicine bag? Mushrooms, peat moss?
Oh, well.
Oh, a little bit, but it's spoiled a bit. I haven't used it in about 10 years. So I think the rest of it'll be good in a pinch. Got some real dry leaves, you press them up against a wound and it sutures right up.
I think those things have a, good best by date.
Nothing has an expiration date if you live in the woods.
Huh.
Take what you can get.
I have spent some time living in the woods, and I don't think that's strictly accurate.
Cookie turns around and just looks around and says, "Everything has an expiration date. It's just all replaceable if you, live in the woods."
Cookie, I don't know about you. We may have some words later. I'm still a little wary of your soup.
Suit yourself.
It's
You
very
don't
good
have to
soup.
eat my soup.
Got a strange taste to it, though. Probably not human flesh.
Is it pork? I bet it's pork.
This isn't the game where the halflings eat people, right?
It was you rolled for it last time. It was venison. So the wagon makes its way down the path. Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Maybe Cookie is banging some coconuts together. So it only takes about another hour. But the caravan, uninterrupted, enters Etrin's Folly.
Ooh.
And my pings were not working, but I think I can at least recenter your map here. So you come in on the northern end of this, what is clearly a small village. Caravan just makes its way. Whoop.
Whoop.
It does not get distorted. It makes its way toward the south.
Some time dilation.
Warping caravan.
You
Maybe
cross
that's
this
what the
little
plague is.
So we
cross this little bridge here,
We got a river.
and you get your first sight of Etrin's Folly. Most of the simple wood and thatch homes here look pretty much identical. There's not a lot of differentiation. It is either wood and thatch or wattle and daub, depending on which section of the module you're looking at. I suppose they are very similar. You pass through this area of town up here, and most of the homes here, all of the homes here, are in significant disrepair. A lot of these homes are clearly abandoned. Some of them look burned. Many of them have roofs collapsed. Caravan continues toward the south, and as you pass this little intersection here, you see that the quality of the construction seems to go up. It looks like people are actually, these houses are in much better repair. You see some people walking around. There are actually some villagers here. So you make it here, and the caravan stops. To the right, you see a stone. And Cookie says, "Well, there it is. It's the Plaguestone, where the city got its name." The Plaguestone is, and it is it's a couple of stone slabs, on top of each other. There is, it's about sort of it's flat, cylindrical, about 2 feet high, with a hole in the center and a bowl-shaped depression off to one side. But the caravan then continues going.
Where it got its name.
Cookie says, "Oh well, from the plague. There was a plague in these parts just after the Goblin Blood Wars. Perhaps 25 years ago or so, if I don't miss my mark." So the caravan comes around. You can continue.
I was gonna ask what the stone's relationship to the plague.
I just know they call it the Plaguestone.
But which came first, the plague or the stone?
I think Borden knows something about it.
Beats me.
Like, why not just move the stone somewhere else?
I imagine it's just now a town fixture. And the caravan comes to a stop next to a large building. What is actually pretty clearly the largest building in town. The workers on the caravan begin to disembark. You are stopped just outside of a stables. Bort jumps off of his wagon and says, "Well, here we are. It's Etran's Folly. I have some business I'll have to attend to. Things to sell. And I'll be back later. But the rest of you, particularly our guests, I will invite you to go into the feed mill here, meet everyone, relax, and I will see you all for dinner. It's on me." And so he takes a couple of bags, and he leaves the caravan.
Well, should we go inside?
Quaint little town. I feel like there'd be lots of peace and quiet here, right?
There's
Lots.
too much hustle and bustle. Too many people in one place. It's a dangerous, dangerous place to be.
Well, if you like, you can try one of those bandit houses outside of town. Probably nobody there.
Nay, I don't know about you lot, but I'm gonna go take a closer look at that Plaguestone.
Cookie just turns and looks at you, Thugrin, and says, "Well, son, if you think this is a large city or anything along those lines, I think you should visit more of Galarian."
Sounds like a challenge that I'm not like to accept. I take more to the forest. You may be a city elf, but I'm a forest dwarf.
I must recommend Keonan, although there aren't that many of your kind there.
Oh,
Now, if you don't mind me, I'm just going to go take a walk. So he sort of jumps down and he heads to the east, and he's just going for a walk.
out in
What time of day is
the
it?
fields.
It's like 3:00. Yeah.
See ya, Cookie.
Just walks out.
He says,
Never
he
sees
says,
him again.
"I will see you this evening, perhaps after dinner." And then everybody else, the Teamsters, and Tamley, are busy taking out the horses and getting them sort of ready. So Thugrin, you're gonna go investigate the Plaguestone.
I
I would also like to go as well.
Okay. So the two of you go.
I'm gonna go investigate the Plaguestone too.
Okay.
What
I
it's
have
gonna do. with it.
A halfling comes out from the stables, greets Hamley, and looks around and says she sees then. So it's Ruckus and Ardor and Lyra are the three who are left.
Seems that way.
So let me find her here. She is an Etran's Folly resident. Here you go. So this is her. She says, "Ha, well. I see we have new guests, people we've never seen before. Lovely. I'm Edra." And she walks up and she just sort of bows in this kind of exaggerated way. It is a pleasure to meet each of you. I'm the stable hand. Do any of you have any horses or other animals you need to board?
I took Oakenclaw for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think we do, but our friend has a bear.
She looks maybe a little bit skeptical and says, "I'm not sure. Well, we could probably find somewhere for the bear, but probably not with the horses."
It's just a little bear.
A little bear.
Well, if you don't have any horses you need to see, or you need me to see too, feel free to see your way in. There's a door right there, and there is a door to the building that she waves at. Just make your way in, and you can see Delma. She'll get you all situated. You'll be out here before too long, but
Thank you, Edra.
Alrighty, so folks going to see the Plaguestone. It is right across the town square. There, you can see a couple of folks, but there's nobody hanging out next to the Plaguestone.
Are they avoiding the play? Well, there's not enough people to know. Does it seem like people are avoiding the Plaguestone when they cross the town square? Or are they just not paying attention to it?
What is your perception bonus?
My perception 7. But I am fatigued.
Yeah, it does not affect perception. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of just walking around going about their business. Or as you can tell, there's no particular...
I would like, as I get closer to the Plaguestone, I would like to cast a Detect Magic on the Plaguestone.
Okay. You detect magic, please. Okay. You detect no magic.
Can I make an Arcana check on the Plaguestone?
Sure. What? I'll just roll. I'll party roll it.
I have a 7.
You can't think of anything. I mean, there's like a bowl type thing, but it's way too small to be used for like double toil and trouble. Although that might be more of a crafting check than an Arcana check.
Yeah, I will. Deacon's not as interested in it being alchemical, though. Didn't really care. It's stone, right?
It is rock, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I use my dwarven lore to determine if the rock and the craftsmanship of the rock, as dwarves are so famous for crafting, is kind of indicative of its function? Like if it was crafted a certain way to perform a certain function?
Yeah. What is your lore bonus?
It's +5, and I remember I do have dubious knowledge.
Okay.
If I fail.
Okay. So you're tell me again, what exactly are you looking for? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm looking to see, like, in the craftsmanship of it, if it were... This may be a crafting check after all, but if the way it was built was designed for a specific purpose. If it's like it was carved to be a basin, or if it was carved to be part of a different, larger machine, or is there more to it and everything I can tell like that?
Yeah. With this check, you can tell that it does not appear to be anything of common or really even uncommon dwarven make. This does not appear to have been crafted by dwarves or a thing that looks like
Borrows from dwarven design.
dwarves do it. Yeah.
Sure.
It would be more of a crafting check. I mean, if it had been dwarvish, you would have gotten something, but it does not appear to be. You're pretty confident this is not dwarven craftsmanship.
Okay.
This looks like maybe human craftsmanship or something.
Yeah.
Some
Human.
non-dwarven craftsmanship.
Fair.
If it's not dwarven, it's crap.
Pretty much. I have two ideas, and I may need your help for one, because I don't think I'm carrying any water on me. But I was thinking if we try to sprinkle a bit of water into the basin, see if it turns to plague water.
How
That
do
sounds
you know if
pretty-
it's plague water? What does plague water look like? Different from regular water?
I'd have to taste a little bit or try to,
So what you're saying is, if I pour some water in that little basin, you're gonna drink it.
I might taste it just to see what happens.
So it seems there are two results. Either you have no idea what you're talking about, or you do and you sicken yourself with the plague.
But either way, we'll know.
Neither of which
I'm pretty
seem
tough.
to be.
I have this pack, these tools of a healer that I can use to treat the disease or treat the poison should I feel sick. But I don't think I have any water on me.
I have a water skin that has water in it. So I'm gonna take my water skin and I'm gonna fill up a little basin with water.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna look expectantly at the dwarf.
So there is a hole in the center, and there is a bowl-shaped like depression off to the side. Are you gonna do it like into the hole or into the little depression?
Into the little depression.
Little depression. Okay.
Well,
You pour some.
Can I see down how big is the hole?
It's like I mean, actually, I think the hole may be. The art's not particularly helpful because it shows an actual bowl instead of a bowl-shaped depression, which is incorrect. But like this is probably going to be out of focus. But like that
Okay.
if the bowl were a bowl-shaped depression instead of a bowl.
So
Okay. It's a big
if I
hole in the middle.
look down, is it like a well?
Yeah. We'll say that the hole goes down like halfway, so a foot.
Oh,
So
okay.
is it a well? It is not a well. There does not appear to be any water in the bottom.
Okay.
Splash some
None at
water
all?
in there, halfling.
Okay, I will splash the water in the basin.
Okay.
Not the hole, but the basin.
So you
Or
pour
not
some
the
water
bowl
in the
because
basin.
There's no bowl.
Avion's gonna turn around and start
The
walking
bowl
away.
shaped depression. That's what we're calling it.
Bowl-shaped
Wait.
She doesn't-
depression. Yeah.
You don't want to see this magic happen.
Yeah. Aviana leaves. Okay. You pour some water into the basin. There is now some water in the basin.
Okay. I wait for a second to see if anything happens.
Okay. Nothing interesting happens. There is water in the basin.
Okay. I dip my pinky in there and
Okay. You make a no. It's water. I mean, do you want to make a check on this or?
yeah, if I could do
Maybe it has some silica in
medicine
it
to see
now.
if I taste poison.
Yeah, I mean, depending on poison would be a medicine check.
Sure.
What is your
Plus
medicine bonus?
7. And
Okay.
if it's recall knowledge, I think this knowledge applies yet again.
It's water. I mean, it doesn't taste any different, except that, I mean, it's water that went into like a random rock, so like there's a little bit of dust in it, but it's water.
It didn't do much. Pour just a little bit more into the hole, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. I mean, I only have one water skin to water, but sure.
There's a river nearby. Get you some more.
So you pour some more water into the big hole.
Yes.
There is a splashing sound, as a sound of water on rock,
Thugrin waits
As
a
if-
moment.
as if someone had poured water into a hole in a rock.
Well, Thugrin repeats the process with this hole and tastes it.
Yeah, I mean it's water.
Maybe the plague takes a few days to form. Alright, let's go get a drink.
Okay. So you head to the feed mill. All right. So the feed mill. We are going to begin with. Let me see. So we have. Guess. Arter and Lyra. You are met by a woman.
Hey,
She looks like. Can you see?
It is a black square for
I
me.
cannot see
Okay,
anything. but
that is because you are not there. You are at the Plaguestone.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
The people who were there, 10 minutes ago, see this person. And she greets you and says, welcome to the feed mill.
Hi.
My name is Delma Fulst. I am the manager of this establishment. She gives a slight bow.
She looks nice.
The next real event that we have going on is dinner. Dinner will be in a few hours, but you can feel free to make yourselves comfortable in the main room. I will show you to it. Right this way. Am
you
I
get
the only
many
one who's
visitors?
lagging? Not very often. Very occasionally. Is everybody else slow?
No.
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 Or is it just me? Okay, great. It's me again. Lovely. All I had to do was change maps. Let me make sure I have enforced walls on.
Force the walls.
Enforce
even
those
your-
walls.
I think
Because,
you're-
yeah, I can totally see through walls.
Wow, that's a pretty cool power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I think even your video and voice was a little choppy too.
Huh.
Thank you.
Okay. So. Oh, so you can see through the. You can actually see through those walls. Can you see through all the walls, or just
No, just-
occasionally? And
I
Just
can
the
only
one
see
that
through doors.
my character touches.
okay, it's fine.
I can see into a bedroom, so that's about it.
Yeah, that's fine. This is. So the funny thing is that those rooms don't exist. this building is smaller than the map that I chose.
Wow.
Wow,
Ignore
okay.
that. Actually, yeah. There's like, if it's a bedroom, instead it's like storage or something.
Okay.
So she says, "Well, this is the common area. If you would like a drink or perhaps a little bit of food, Finnick would be happy to help you. He's up at the bar. If you need anything, please call. I will be back in the kitchen." And she kind of makes her way toward the kitchen. And she says, "Your rooms, I'm afraid, we don't really have rooms, but we will get you all situated above the hayloft. I'm sure it will be at least more comfortable than sleeping on the road. Let me know if you need anything, please."
That is just fine. I'm used to sleeping in uncomfortable places.
So, what you see here is the common of a tavern. There are a few people here. So, two people. The man to the south, he looks like this, and then the woman to the and then a woman to the north, she looks like this. Also, I will note they appear to somewhat randomly choose NPCs that get art. Don't read anything into like whether a character has art or not. They just like pick some random NPCs that have art.
Oh, this character has a name. They must be important.
So
Oh.
if they have a name on the art, that means I didn't find them on the internet. But so they are cleaning tables. And Delma's gonna go up here, and you see her. There's a door right here, and you see her go through that door. Behind the bar is.
Is it a goblin? One of your kind? Hey! Carrying a D20. How convenient.
That is what he would look like if he were carrying a giant D20. And sitting at the bar, eating and drinking, is this guy.
He looks nice.
Hello.
He has some scars, as you can see. Yeah, that's what's going on. Seems to be quite empty.
I imagine he's the kind of guy who comes up to you and says, "My friend, he doesn't like you. I don't like you either."
Yep.
Yes, if he had friends.
Oh, starting to fight. Bar fight early.
He says, "Finnick, another ale, and more bread." And Finnick goes, "Eep," and just sort of rushes off to the kitchen.
Arthur turns to Lyra and he says, "Fennec, isn't that like a kind of cat or something?"
Seems like it. But he doesn't look like a cat.
No, he looks like a goblin.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
just
that would
curious
be an ugly
name.
cat.
he comes back, hops up on his thing that he has to hop up on, his stool, so that he can see over the bar, and hands this man more bread and ale, and looks around and says, "Oh, hi.
No.
Do you need anything?"
I would like the strongest thing that you have.
I would like the weakest thing that you have.
I would like food.
No, you want to say I would like the middle.
He says-
of the
Well, dinner. You unless you're really hungry, dinner's in a few hours. I could get you a snack. Would you like a snack? One of the strongest and one of the weak. I can do that. We have two things. One's really strong and one's really weak.
That's perfect.
Be back in 1 minute.
Take your time.
It's not a very
Did you decide
lively
whether you
place,
wanted a
is it?
snack? He says to, was it Ruckus who asked for this?
Oh, yes. Yes, no, Ruckus is always hungry, so he's like, yes,
You-
yes.
you would- Snack sounds good. And he disappears.
With someone else paying, we should take advantage of this opportunity to mingle with the local food palette.
Well, for one thing, he's paying for dinner. not snacks. For another thing, that is taking advantage of someone else's kindness, and I think that you can do better than that.
He just looks
Wow.
at you very confused.
The whole
As
I'm
if-
not mad, I'm disappointed.
Oh.
The man here sitting and eating just sort of turns and looks at Arter and like glares at him and then goes back to his food.
I don't think he likes your philosophy very much.
Do you think they'll get many people at dinner?
Uh,
Well, there's the whole caravan. So there's that at least. But I don't know.
At this point, Finnick comes back. And he is not literally juggling, but he is carrying, 2 ales and some, what appears to be some jerky. Well, he's carrying 2 tankards of drink and what appears to be some jerky. He sort of scampers up. And he drops.
Jerky's made out of, though.
So he drops. Lyra wanted the, and he says, "Okay, I'm sorry, I forget who wanted the strong stuff."
I'm like right here.
So he drops this mug of thick. I'm trying to remember what they call this. It's in the book. 1 second, I can tell you what they call it.
Is it like gruel
So-
or something?
It's almost tar-like. Let's see. He drops it in front of you. Where is the entry? Yeah. So he drops it. It is tarry. It is described as tarry in the book. He puts it in front of you and says, wagon grease. Tastes better than wagon grease, though. And in front of, he gives Ruckus the jerky, and he gives Arter a pitcher and says, and turnip ale.
Turnip ale.
Huzzah.
Alrighty. At this point, at this point, we will have Aviana. Are you going to come in the front door, Aviana?
Yeah.
You're going to come in the back, okay. So you come in here. And she has, let's say she's moved, and this guy's moved. There. Cleaning. So you see a man eating, you see your friends sitting down, a couple of them with food, one with a snack. Nom nom nom. There's a goblin, there's a man eating, 2 people working.
Yeah.
And the man says, Finnick, I didn't need this much bread, and he pulls off half the bread and throws it at Finnick. Finnick just kind of jumps and actually manages to says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Halid. I'm sorry." And he just puts it under the bar.
I want to ask Finnick, how did he end up working at this? How did you come to settle in Plaguestone, and how did you come working at this inn? What brought you so far from a tribe?
He says, let me check his person entry here. I think I know the answer to this, but he says, well, I've been here most of my life. My parents were orphans from the Goblin Blood Wars, and I grew up kind of not too far out of town, and eventually I made my way in after my parents died, and Delma, she's he looks toward the kitchen and he says, "She's very kind, and I've been living here for a while."
Goblins have parents?
You asking Ruckus?
I'm asking
Ruckus-
Lyra.
Oh.
This is I'm having this conversation over the goblins' heads.
I think most people have parents, except
Yes,
I didn't
but
know
I mean,
mine.
family units is what I'm. You know what? Never mind.
Family is very important to goblin kind, I'll have you know.
Apologize. I didn't. I don't. You're the first goblin I've actually met. Actually.
No. Well, perhaps if we travel long enough, I will regale you with our long and interesting oral history.
I'm sure you will.
It's quite inspiring.
And as the rest of you arrive, Thugrin, are you bringing your bear inside the establishment?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god. Jeez.
So Thugrin and Lena, you come in.
And the bear.
As this guy just sort of gets up and perfunctorily pushes his way past you.
like,
Thugrin and Lena.
Does he attempt
just
to push
like
through me?
he kind of
Okay.
like shoulder check. Well, no, he doesn't shoulder check you. You're too short. He just kind of like
Hip bumps.
Knees.
He just
to
kinda
the
like-
face.
Ow.
you, at first you think he's just gonna collide with you, and then right at the last second he goes around you, and he leaves.
Humans.
What's his
Aye.
problem, Fennec?
Come on in, Oakenclaw.
Oh, that's right. I dropped this token.
I'm gonna go to the bar.
Phoenix says, "Oh, he
Get away from that bear.
man. He's not very nice, but leave him alone, and he'll leave you alone, probably."
He doesn't seem to leave you alone.
Well, he sort of looks away. Is there? Oh, hello. Is there any? Oh my. He sort of scampers off and goes in the kitchen door.
I tell Oakenclaw to get under the table and just lay down.
Does he fit under? How big is he again?
He's small.
How small?
He's
though?
small.
I like him.
So small is not like cat. Cats are tiny. Small is like large dog.
Yeah, Ruckus is also small.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Small is not small. Tiny is small.
So Finnegan and
Oh.
Delma come out of the kitchen.
Thugrin
it's
And
the
Delma
manager.
comes around
We pretend that I'm not with him.
and says, "Hello, I'm Delma. I am the manager of this establishment. It is good to meet the rest of you." And she looks and she sees Oakenclaw. I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to leave your animal outside.
Why would I leave
Nope.
Oakenclaw outside? There may be dangers out there. We're in foreign territory. I don't
Oh, I
trust your village.
I thought she was talking about the dwarf.
She says,
I mean, they already let enough strange people in here.
"Our village is quite safe, and wild animals. I'm sorry, I can't trust your wild animal in my tavern. Please, you can leave him, her, it, I'm not sure, them, outside with Edra. She's quite good with animals. I'm sure she will take good care of your creature, your bear.
Oakenclaw, come with me. I take him over toward the door. Is this the door here?
That is not that's the door you came in. He would have to
Okay.
go around the building.
No, I want to go to the door that I came in, and I want to open it and have Oakenclaw sit just outside of it with the door open.
Just outside of
Yes.
with the door open.
Yes.
Okay.
And I stand by the door with the door open.
She looks at you and she says, "If you're going to do that, you might as well wait outside. We have to close the door, to keep the cool air in."
Yeah,
You
so
and your
cool in
city
here.
ways. Oh. Can I get a drink at least?
She says, "Of course, Finnick can help you. I appreciate your cooperation."
She rubs me the wrong way.
These highfalutin
She's too
city
nice.
types.
Do you say that?
No, I'm saying this.
Mumble it.
Yeah, I'm mumbling it to Ruckus. Yeah, I'm quietly. She's too nice. That's what I say to him. Or she acts too nice.
I'd like an ale, goblin friend.
So Thugrin, what are you gonna do about your bear?
I'm going to wait until the goblin hands me an ale, and then wait out. Are there any windows?
Yeah, there are windows.
Okay, I would like to go get my ale.
Actually, I don't know. Thatch, there are probably no windows.
Oh.
Well, there might be shutters.
Yeah, I
shutter
don't.
windows.
Sure, we'll say there's
They're
a
all
window.
closed because the air conditioning.
We'll say there's a window.
I mean, there is no air conditioning.
Right.
Okay.
There's a window. Can you see my pings? Or are there just no pings?
I do not.
I see no pings.
See no ping.
Okay.
There's a ping.
Oh, I saw
Right.
that.
So
was
it's
me.
just me. Great. Thanks, Roll20. I give you money, and in return, I cannot ping.
Is that a window?
I mean, I'm also giving them money, but
Can you see my measuring? Because I
Yes.
can't see my measuring.
No.
Okay.
no.
That was mine.
The color is there's no color, but I can see the.
Apparently, my
the
color
distances.
is transparent. That appears to be what my personal color is. Even though it shows as like blue-green. There we go. Apparently, my color became transparent somehow. Yeah. So it's like here.
Okay, I will wait for my drink and then go around and sit right outside the window, sipping and looking in at everybody. And if Oakenclaw can
Okay.
like get up on his tippy toes and look in the window too, then he'll do that.
So Finnick says, would you like the ale or would you like the really strong stuff?
Give me an ale, goblin. I could use it.
He says, 1 turnip ale coming up.
Even
And then
better.
he-
I kind of imagine the turnip ale is probably more akin to actual root beer than beer.
There actually is such a thing as turnip ale, although it's mostly made with. It's like wheat beer, It's like it's not just made with wheat. There's still hops in it.
Turnip ale.
And he says, "Would anyone else like anything?"
I will take a turnip ale.
Turnip ale.
Avion will also have a turnip ale.
Very good. And he goes to go get a turnip ale for everybody.
Meanwhile, I'm drinking my like thick
Tar.
and I'm like, man, this is a really stout. Like just like chewing
Yeah.
it. Like,
So it tastes kind of like rum.
very thick rum.
Yeah, it's like I believe that's exactly how it's described as tar.
Tari rum.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
Yeah.
Tari rum-like drink that the
So-
locals call wagon grease.
I imagine it's probably made out of molasses or something like that.
Mm.
Super thick.
Finnick comes back and delivers each of you your drinks.
Fantastic. I guess all there is to wait, or all to do now, is to wait for Bort to get back.
I'm gonna
So,
open another of my books and start doodling in it.
so what is everybody's general like plan? You have a few hours. You can hang out here, which is Bort suggested. You can like drink the afternoon away if you like. Whatever else you kind of want to do before dinner.
How
what do they
far
plan
are we
on?
still from the city we're trying to get to?
You are 3 days into like a. I should do the math, but like a several weeks long journey at least.
Oh, so like the beginning of the trip.
Yeah. This is the first stop. This is the first night that you're spending the night anywhere. And you will be stopping at basically every town along the way because Bort is a merchant and he's selling things in all of those places.
Finding a tavern, or not a tavern, a temple would be a pretty good thing for me to.
So do you want to wander around and explore the town to look for a temple?
I'd probably ask Fennec if there is one first.
Finnick says, "Well, I think there was one once, but I've never seen it. It's not really used anymore. One of the older people would know more than me, and he kind of looks to Trin, and Delma actually has left at this point.
All right, I'll go and
She's
talk to Trin then.
satisfied that there's- Trin says, frozen. Okay. Trin says, why, hello. How can I
Hi.
help you?
Yes, I was wondering if there was a temple in town.
A temple? Well, there's not really so much as a temple. We're not quite large enough to have a temple, but there was a shrine once. It is abandoned though. We haven't used it in quite a long time.
I see. Would you mind telling me where it is? I'm not much one for worship, but I still like to know where they are.
She says, well, you can find it on the eastern side of town. Quite due east of here, actually. You just take the path, and she points to the north. There's a path just north of here. You take it, and it will curve around, and in the middle of the curve is the old shrine. If you want to pay a visit, just be careful of wildlife.
Oh well, thank you.
It's in the middle of a thicket. What god do you worship? What is your primary deity?
I follow the path of Iomade.
She nods and says, Iomade, well, maybe you can tell me a little more about her. You know, later tonight.
Sure.
She says, I should get back to work, though. And she goes back to cleaning tables. It's going to have to go over to this table now.
guess I'd like to go back towards. I don't know. The river seems like a nice place, right? And just kind of hang out there and do some reading.
Okay. So you can find a nice quiet spot.
I follow Aviana.
Yikes.
So much for the quiet.
If Thugrid and Oakenclaw can spot Aviana leaving, then they will follow once they figure out that she's going to the river.
Now, is there a particular reason that you're following me?
Going to the river, I see. Probably have the same suspicions that I do. That whatever's infecting those wolves we came across is coming from the water supply.
If that sickness is probably some small localized thing, it probably has no greater import, and as soon as we're out of here, the sooner we'll be rid of it.
They call this place Plaguestone. I'm not about to believe in coincidences. And I'm gonna go down to the river and kind of like what I did with the Plaguestone in there is dip my finger into the water and taste it for any poisons.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit like a little ways away, maybe like try to find a tree or something and sit under it.
Watch the weird dwarf like tasting the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so like for toxins or weird things in the water, what
Plus
let's
7 to
do-
medicine.
and then do you want to do like nature too?
Yeah, if there's anything that seems off about the river itself.
Okay.
Do some pH checks, some titration.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your nature's also a 7.
It is.
It's their wisdom.
Yep.
Okay. Man, you're rolling. I'm rolling rocks on your behalf today. Your lowest is a 14. 14 on the die. It's water. I mean, it's a river.
Okay.
It's clean, fresh water.
All right. Then.
It's blue. You can see the bottom, which we can't do because pollution. Yay.
So it's cleaner than other rivers. Great.
It is. It is nice. It is inviting.
Okay.
Might be nice to take a swim. I don't know. It's a river.
I don't. Do I want the? No. Yeah. Oakenclaw deserves a bath, so I'm gonna tell Oakenclaw to splash around and take a bath, like noisily, like.
Okay.
Playing around.
So-
Maybe try to spray Aviana a little bit. This is just like this
So-
bear plays in the water, and I'm gonna drink some like with cupped hands.
Oakenclaw has some fun. Plus one to fun. You immediately see like fish swim away.
Oh, maybe he's gonna try to catch one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So your bear has some fun in the water. Is now completely soaking wet.
Claw strike to fish.
Yeah, Aviana. All this is happening. There's a bear frolicking in the water.
Even if I am distracted, I'm not going to like act as if I'm distracted. I'm probably just staring at the same word on the page.
Make a bluff check against whatever Thugrin's. Thugrin, what's your perception?
You mean
DC?
diplomacy or
No, this is
deception?
what
I mean,
Sorry, deception. Yeah.
17.
16.
I notice. I go up after a minute. I
Thugrin,
notice
if
you
you're paying
haven't turned-
attention,
you haven't turned the page in a minute.
I'm being civil. I came here to do work, and I have done nothing but mind my own business.
what kind of work you into?
Well, it's a bit complicated, but
Hmm.
some work on the fundamentals of magic.
The fundamentals of magic. Don't know if you need to write a book on that. You either have it or you don't. And then I'm gonna just do a little. No, what I'm gonna do is a sigil spell on the ground to kind of like trace my, broken oak sigil on the ground to show her that I just have innate magical powers. You just have to feel it. Don't need to read it in a book.
Your form is quite sloppy, and I'm just gonna do an identical spell, but try to make it as like calligraphy or whatever, basically.
Oh
Mine's
my
a
goodness.
crayon drawing sigil.
God.
If you understand the fundamentals better,
Ugh.
you can grow and increase your magic 1,000-fold.
Maybe if I had the time to read. The forest always calls to me, always has its needs.
Well, to each their own.
I'm gonna sit right next to her and then just stare at the water. And stare at Oakenclaw playing.
Okay, you do that. Is everybody else hanging out at the feed mill?
Yeah, is this a little stage area up here I see?
It is indeed a little stage area. Good eye.
Oh God.
Yeah, Ruckus cannot resist the he's going to try and convince Fennec to let him plage during dinner to attract a crowd.
Finnick says, "Well, that's
Do you get many
Um,
bards around here?
I'm afraid." Trent says, "I'll take care of it, Finnick dear." And she sort of walks up to you and says, "I'm afraid we already have a bard for dinner. In fact, we already have a bard for, well, every dinner.
Where is he?
His name is Flonk, and I'm sure he'll be along right just before we eat.
I'm
He's
picturing
quite
like the
very
bard in every
punctual.
Skyrim, every Skyrim inn.
This would be a great opportunity to learn new songs
If
and the
you're
local
here-
history.
If you're here for 2 evenings, perhaps. What's your perception bonus? And Ardor, I'll give it to you too. Actually, you know what? I think I can just #party or perception. So Ardor, you think you hear her, or you can hear she whispers to herself, "Dear God, please let him not play another evening." And she says, "Perhaps tomorrow night you could work something out with Delma, but I don't know if you're planning on staying 2 evenings."
Oh, his ears droop. I do not think we are. But maybe we can have a duet. I can't wait to meet this bard.
"I'm sure you'll find him charming." And she goes back to buffing tables.
Oh, I almost forgot. Why do they call it the Plaguestone?
You're asking Trin?
Yeah.
Trin says, "Well, story goes like this. But first, well, I am happy to tell you. She says, 'Where are you from, Mr.
Dougal.
Dougal?' And where are you from?
I'm from Velamis.
You're from Valens. Well, I will tell you about the Plaguestone, but I hope you and your companions here will tell me a little bit about where you're from. The Plaguestone was used so we had a plague about 20 years ago. It passed through Etran's Folly, and people who had the plague would receive food from the Plaguestone and pay by putting a little bit of vinegar in the little indent. Have you seen the Plaguestone, Mr. Dougal?
Maine now, but
I have seen the Plaguestone.
Well, you put a bowl in the little indentation, and they would fill it with vinegar, and that's where they would place their money for the food that would be kept in the Plaguestone. And that's why it's called the Plaguestone. It's because it was used during the plague.
So you, in the little indentation, you put a bowl,
Yes.
and you fill the bowl with vinegar, and
Which
then you
is
put
why
money.
it's described in the book as a bowl-shaped indentation.
And then you put money into the vinegar.
To disinfect is my understanding.
It's hand sanitizer.
Yeah, they're plague-ridden people, and they're trying to quarantine them
Oh.
in some respect. We know what that means.
Yup.
Huh.
Distilled alcohol is considerably more expensive than vinegar.
Well, isn't vinegar just bad alcohol? Isn't that how you make vinegar? You take wine and it goes bad.
And you can make it from wine, yes. But white vinegar is just made from sugar, I think?
I thought it was white grapes.
Nobody knows. It's an
a
impossible
mystery.
It's a mystery lost to time.
How vinegar is made. Do our characters
Patrick
know
didn't
about
pass.
vinegar?
Patrick didn't make that lore check.
I don't know.
I would like to-
We're the dubious knowledge expert. We can ask him.
I would like to
I'm
roll
sitting.
vinegar lore.
It's my skill. I didn't pick vinegar lore. Whoops.
Yeah, I mean you can make it from anything that
There you are.
ferments. So
I'm busy.
I do know that.
Bothering Aviana, so I'm not there.
That's right. Yeah, we're out in the fields, frolicking around.
So, why do they call it Etran's Folly?
she says, "Well, I don't suppose I know. You might ask the mayor if you see him around.
Is he the guy with the
He's,
weird scars on his eyes?
He is Delma's father. His name is Hold on. His name is Targenfalst. You may see him this evening, though he doesn't usually show up. But if you do see him, well, he's in his 80s. He'll come by eventually. If you're here long enough."
Maybe the bard will have knowledge of this history of the town. Maybe there's a local song about it.
If not, we can make one. Right? That's how songs work.
Yeah, white vinegar is straight acetic acid and water. So they maybe don't have white vinegar.
Yeah, it seems like they don't have the
It might be like
technology for
apple
that, though.
cider vinegar or something like that.
Oh, I heard that it has amazing health properties.
Oh yeah. You know, prevents things. All
We
the-
are deep diving into the
It prevents
culinary
gout.
traditions of Etran's Folly.
Screw like
says-
adventuring. We're gonna do a culinary tour.
If you're really interested in our culinary traditions, you have to look at the turnips. Turnips are our specialty.
Hence the turnip ale.
Maybe it was
I got
turnip vinegar.
The turnip ale and the
It's probably
various
turnip
turnip
vinegar.
dishes you'll get this evening.
Definitely turnip vinegar.
Amora will see to it.
I want. I'm gonna ask for a turnip ale.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're asking for a second drink. I need you to make so we'll do this a little bit later at dinner, but if you are drinking, it is a poison, technically. So if you want to get a little tipsy, I assume, I'm kind of taking this from Starfinder, but I assume you're going to fail the first fortitude save intentionally. If you want to continue to drink, there are a bunch of steps. Let's see. There are 7 stages on the alcohol track. So
Like a
with stage
lot?
7 being death. So
How many drinks does
if
that
you're
take?
if you're gonna a lot, and you have to you have to continue drinking to get to that point. So
I
obviously
just got a weird flashback to college.
So, but I do want you to make a fortitude save for me to see what happens with the second, if you're actually going to drink it.
I mean, well, so
especially since you had a hard drink the first time.
Yeah. So my idea too. I haven't drank all of the hard drink yet.
Okay.
What I want to do is I want to mix them together and see what happens and what it tastes like.
So Finnick says, "Oh, okay. I'll go get you one." So he goes and I'm not gonna drag him over, but he goes and he comes back and he gets you a turnip ale.
Okay, so I mix the two together because I want to just see what happens. A strong and a light make a medium. I don't know. So.
I don't think they're gonna mix.
Well, then I will have a
one of them
very
is a
weird
lot thicker
drink.
and heavy than the other one.
Well, I'll see. Yeah, I'll see what happens.
Although alcohol is less dense than water.
Yeah, it doesn't it makes a slightly less thick concoction. It doesn't taste great.
I will
they
drink
taste
it anyway.
They taste better on their own.
Who knew we would have a chemistry discussion upon entering the bar about the origins of vinegar and the densities of liquids.
So for fun, I do want you to make me a fortitude save to see whether you, unless you want to just continue to get intoxicated. So
no.
I'm gonna put you at stage 1, which is the following: you get a +1 item bonus to saving throws against fear effects.
Yeah.
Where is Why am I not seeing fortitude on here?
In the middle.
Oh.
There.
Okay.
A 13, that is a success. It is only a DC 12.
How much was a penalty for being fatigued?
It is a -1.
Okay.
So that is a 12, but a 12 is a success. So you're a little buzzed, but that's it. The first stage, no penalties. Is there anything else the rest of you would like to do while you are waiting for dinner?
I want to go for a walk around town.
Okay.
But I want to avoid the people at the river.
No, you can come with me then. I'm going to go look at the shrine.
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
So you two wanna take a walk out to see the shrine. Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so you go on this path, and we'll let me find my shrine info. So, the path, and I will just, I will reveal it for you. Oh, I should probably put it on the map layer. So you take this road here. It's not really Bort's Caravan, but And it's it's not. This is not exactly a bustling town. There's not a lot going on.
Are
So-
these fields?
Yeah. So these are
Are they
these appear to
turnip
be
fields?
so. Most of them are fallow. A couple of them will say this one and like this one appear to be in use. So you like take a walk.
Could I tell what
yes.
they're growing?
Let's see. That would be nature. What's your nature bonus?
2.
Yeah. So it looks like they're growing a mix. So it's not just like one big field. You see a lot of what looks like turnips. You also see some sort of standard crops. There's some wheat. There appear to be some berries, and just various sort of, staple crops. Staple crops and kind of what a mostly self-sufficient town would probably grow.
And I imagine.
But a
all
lot of
hay.
but a lot of turnips.
Yeah.
So you make your way. Whoops. It is quiet. And in this part to the east. And let's see, Old Shrine. So this is you come to a copse of ancient oak trees. Kind of enter it. And you come to what appears to be an old and overgrown shrine. What are your actually? I'm just gonna roll both of your perceptions. Oh, hey, Arter. Actually, you both did really well. As you start to approach, you hear a buzzing sound. So you can see sort of forward on the path, and to the left. This is all pretty overgrown, but you can see what look like some stones. But you hear a loud buzzing sound.
Bees?
Bees.
Bees.
no.
Oprah appears, flanked by bees.
Let's see our 20.
Do you hear that, Lena?
I do. Should we go check it out?
I mean, it's probably bees. I'm gonna check it out.
Okay.
Me too.
So are you going? How do you want to approach
Stealthily?
this buzzing sound?
Yeah, cautiously. I would like to, not probably just try and. I'm going to treat the situation as if it were bees. So I'm going to try and get visual confirmation that there are bees in the vicinity before I just walk right in there.
Okay. So you kind of
I
come
might do
around a
some-
corner.
Yeah, some circumnavigation.
Yeah. And Lena, are you trying to be sneaky?
Yes.
Okay. Roll a stealth check for me.
Okay. It's not gonna be great.
And 11. Okay. So you come, not really around a corner, but you get closer and you see on one of the trees, just sort of sitting on a tree, is a creature that looks. Actually, you know what? I'm only going to put it in Arter. I wish I could show it to only 2 people, but Arter and Lena save. Okay, so if you look in your handouts, under creatures and monsters.
I see it.
You will see a creature. This is what you see.
Ooh.
It does not appear. So you rolled so well in your perception check that you're able to see it at a pretty clear distance before you have gotten close. Yeah. What would you like to do?
I would like to whistle at Lena to get her attention, and then point it out to her.
Okay, I'm gonna nod and point at my axe, and then point at it again.
Do I know what this is?
What is your nature bonus?
Plus
Actually, both of you want to do it?
+2.
Okay. Well, we'll see. As I also look up the DC. 1 second. So these creatures are CR. That's not really a CR, but what is their level? Oh no, I want DCs. DCs. So right. What'd you get? You got that and that. Yeah, you don't know what these things are.
I mean, what size is it?
It is tiny. Capital T tiny. But one thing you notice looking at it is you hear the buzzing and its wings appear to not be moving.
Do I just see one, or do I see more than one?
Let me make you another perception check. Looking around, let me see what their stealth DC would be. Looking around, you see at least 3 more.
That's a lot.
I'm gonna motion at Lena that we should probably back out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna nod and start backing away slowly.
So you kind of slowly turn around and go back the other direction. They either don't notice you, they either don't notice you or you didn't get close enough to piss them off, because they do not attack you or anything. Well, if they would attack you, maybe they wouldn't attack you. Who knows? You don't know what they are.
Yeah, they look really friendly.
Yeah, no.
They really do. Definitely just want to,
Hug.
sit by the campfire with you. So you make your way back to the feed mill.
Well, that was kind of a bust. So that didn't work out for me. Do you wanna go anywhere? I'll accompany you.
I mean, there seems to be more to this town.
I don't think that there's much.
But you won't know until we find out.
That's true. All right, lead.
I want to head and I'm going to draw this direction.
Okay.
Because we're here, so I want to go this way. And not that way.
So you want to go south?
Yeah.
You can move the token, by the way.
I got to click on the move thing to move it, though. So I want to go here.
Okay. Yeah, so these houses are better maintained than the ones to the north. This is a pretty small village. It's it's kind of hard to really count the houses and know how many people there are here, but not a lot. It appears that the south side is inhabited, at least, even if the north side didn't really look like it was. Anything in particular you want to look for?
Want to see if I can figure out where Cookie went.
Okay, so Cookie was going to the east. He was actually going. So you were. I revealed the feed mill. He was actually kind of going toward the direction of the old shrine.
No. Well, then I don't want to try and
If
find
you,
him.
if you,
Yeah, he made a mistake.
if you pass by the feed mill, you see that he has rejoined the caravan, and is sitting on one of the why do I want to call them carts? They are not carts.
Wagons.
On one of the wagons, and he is reading a book.
Well, that mystery solved.
Is Bort back?
Bort is not back yet.
Mm.
He seems to be out and about somewhere.
What's Board up to?
Do all these buildings look like houses? Like,
Yeah, I mean they're mostly houses. There are a few craftspeople. You can see probably like a Fletcher, and there's you can smell a tannery kind of over on the west side. But it's mostly houses with some sort of typical. No, nothing really industrial or heavy duty, but
Hey, get your.
Yep. Small town.
After a while, I will recall Oaken Claw and wander back toward the feed mill and go back and look in the window until it's dinner time.
okay. Brian, Lena, are you satisfied with your explorations, or anything else you want to look for?
I'm gonna pretend that it's dinner time and head back.
Okay, Arter, are you heading back?
Yeah.
Is there anything else anybody else wants to do before dinner? I guess Aviana, you are reading.
That's right.
Lyra, Ruckus, anything in particular you want to get up to? Or just hanging out at the feed mill?
I'm just hanging out waiting for dinner. I'm hungry.
Alrighty. So
I want to ask Thugrin if he knows anything about what we saw in the forest. So, Dwarf, Thugrin, we were out and about not long ago, and we came across these creatures that neither Lena nor I had seen before. And I was wondering if maybe in your travels you have seen anything with bat wings, a needle-like beak, and an abdomen like a big insect about yay big.
Well, I have both forest lore and nature. So.
You can roll either one. I will give you a penalty because you didn't see it.
Sure. I'll go with nature.
Which is a +7.
Yes.
Okay.
Normally.
Yeah, that sounds pretty similar to you, to a creature known as a bloodsucker.
Hey.
They are basically giant mosquitoes.
Ugh.
Sorry, a blood seeker.
Bloodseeker. That sounds to me like a bloodseeker. Overgrown insects that'll suck you dry. You best stay away if you value your blood, lad. But if you bring me an oaken claw over, we can take care of him. And I'll produce flame in my hand just to be.
I thought you were all about nonviolence to animals.
If it's them who are threatening the village, if it's them that are carrying disease, then it's for the good of the tribe, for the good of all that they be eliminated. If I can convince them to stand down and tame their blood-seeking ways, then I will. But other than that, I will defend myself.
All right. I appreciate that.
Aye, lad.
Ulf enter, along with a farmer, and they sit down and start to play some games. They're mostly dicing. Bort eventually then. Finnick heads back to the kitchen. Let's see. I need Bort Bargeth. So Bort arrives and he says, very good. Are you all ready for dinner?
Huzzah!
Always.
A bard enters. A wild bard appears and heads up to the stage. He begins tuning his lute. Let's see. I probably should have just done a separate map for this and just moved you over to the new map, because there's a lot of people I got to move in here. Alrighty, a bunch of farmers pile. Trying to move them to the token layer. Let's see. This individual makes his way, and he orders a drink. Delma comes out and begins tending bar. And those of you who have stayed have heard, as it gets closer to dinner time, off-key singing from the direction of the kitchen. Let's see, that starts as dinner starts to get closer. And yeah, a bunch of people show up. Board says, "Well, we should all take seats. What looks like a good place? I'm thinking up here,
Of where?
near to the bard."
Oh, yes, yes.
Can we all fit there?
Oh my god.
We need to push some tables together.
Yeah, we might have to.
They put some tables together, which is not at all the map, but you know.
It's just
And
like
I'm
Myers
actually
again.
I am super lagging now again.
Actually, with Ugrin outside, everyone
in the
can fit at
window.
this table.
Can everybody fit there? Yeah.
Oh, is he just like in the window?
Yep.
If there is one.
Yep.
And yeah, as we know from Myers, you can fit about 12 people at a little, 2-foot square table.
2 round
That's
tables.
true.
12 people.
You
for
certainly can.
Good for them, supporting their local businesses.
Sure. Yeah.
Excuse me, local business.
There's just the one.
Well, there's also the
Yeah.
flexible canner.
They probably have like a general store or something, and like a pharmacy or / herbalist kind of place.
Apothecary.
There's wherever
Yeah.
Bart went to drop off the stuff that he was delivered.
Maybe their businesses are still recovering from the plague. There was no large-scale subsidy or something for them.
Huh.
Actually, I don't know. I mean, general probably pretty anachronistic.
No universal basic income. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Those rough feudal lives.
Yeah, life's pretty
Yep.
shitty here without that, huh?
So we time passes. Yeah, so it gets to be close to dinner time. And the feed mill becomes pretty full. About half of the folks from Bort's caravan come. It seems maybe Cookie is not particularly interested in eating other people's dinner or something. Bort says, well, the dinner. Let me let you in on a secret. The dinner here is quite adequate. But hey, it's on me, and we can sleep in actual beds tonight before we get back on the road in the morning.
Well, I mean, I hadn't really planned on eating 4-course meals on the way over here, so.
Yeah, about
I
those
am-
beds. Didn't they say they've only got hay in over in the stables?
Well, they're straw mattresses, but they are actual beds. At this point, Trin comes up and asks, "What would you all like more to drink? And are there any dietary restrictions that we should keep in mind?"
I would like some more
Any
of your.
gluten intolerances?
I eat anything. Well,
I
within
want some
reason.
turnip ale,
One turnip ale.
and I will eat whatever you put in front of me.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna knock on the window and point to a turnip ale and then point to myself.
Oh, and he's a vegetarian, if that's a word. He doesn't eat meat.
I will reserve him a double portion of the turnip stew.
I would like another strong drink. We'll see what happens.
Another wagon grease, or a wagon grease, very good.
Water.
We have plenty of that as well.
Maybe I'll also have water.
Here's the
And-
sobriety.
And Bort, I know you would like a turnip ale. And you, sir? She looks at Ruckus.
A little of everything.
A little of, well, does that mean you would like us to bring out the wine? It's
The-
quite expensive. Or just the normal everything.
Just the normal everything. I look over at Arter, feeling guilty or trying to, as if I'm confused about the morality of the situation. You know, you had given me the lecture earlier about don't take advantage of your host, so he's kind of like, this-
Bort
yeah?
Bort sees your hesitation and says, "Drink all you want.
Well, in
It's
that
all-
case,
It's all you saved all our lives. It's all on me tonight."
he's still just going to do the regular everything because he's confused. He's trying to get in Arter's good books because he's
Even
convinced that-
if Arter nods.
Oh, okay, then he'll get everything. Yeah, no, because he's convinced that Arter's a secret hero type of some sort. That's why he's so solemn in the back of
yeah,
the caravan. So he's
so
like trying to figure him out. Yes.
Let's see. So she takes your order and she heads out. Some more of the people who appear. So the guy sitting at the bar is.
Wow, there's a family of septuplets or something, octuplets.
Is this guy?
Whoa! Hachimachi. Woo!
And he appears to be diving headfirst into his drink. Speaking of diving headfirst into his drink, with Ulf and Ulf is this guy who also already has 2 empty ale glasses, mugs, and one he's working on, and another one in reserve.
Wow.
There is
Rowdy.
also this bard. He is a halfling. And he is at this point he finishes tuning up his lute and begins playing. And I don't need any kind of a check from anybody to tell you that this music is god awful.
Oh no.
Ruckus, what is your lore? What kind of remind me? Do you have theater lore?
I do have theater lore.
What's your theater lore bonus?
4.
Plus, we'll call it a +1 bonus. Yeah. You think he has at least 2 strings missing
Oh,
from his lute.
my goblin heart.
And his singing is not off key. Like his singing is fine. But ooh, the music's not good.
Okay. Would it be better if he had a? Is he just poor? Would it be better if his instrument was better, or is he actually not skilled with this instrument?
I mean, he seems both. Like this is not good. It's like probably not the worst music you've ever heard. It's probably not the worst music anybody's ever heard. You know, if you've ever heard like a child playing music, it's better than that, but it's not good.
Oh dear.
But everybody seems into it enough. So you see Trin, she comes back, she brings you your food, or she brings you drinks. And she is wandering around, she's asking people for their orders. Delma is ordering or taking drinks at the bar. And at this point, they've brought some drinks here, so she doesn't have to go back every time. The other server, the man, is also going around delivering drinks, getting orders for food and things like. Although it doesn't take you too long to figure out that like there's one meal that's coming out, so you can choose not to have the wild game or not to have the turnip stew if you really don't like turnips. Sorry, if you really don't like turnips, because that it's in almost everything. So if there's something you really don't want, you could not have it. But everything, it takes 30 minutes. Everyone is sort of winding up. how much is everybody drinking? There is plenty of alcohol to be had. So, if anybody like, how drunk does everybody intend to, like, how many drinks do you all want to have?
One
I think
drink.
we have 2 zeros.
I've had 3 so far. I'm thinking I'm gonna have about 5.
It has been a few hours. So
Okay.
you've been able to like sober up.
Well,
At this
I will
point
have
it's
5 more.
At this point, it's 6 or 7. Okay, so I want you to roll me 4 fortitude saves.
I want to try to keep up with Bort and in the revelry.
Oh my god.
Bort,
I'm gonna
merrymaking.
die.
Bort is definitely he's
have a
definitely intoxicated. He's not drunk, but he's a little. So I'll have you make 3 fortitude saves for me.
Oh dear.
I also am going to try to keep up with Bort.
And here's the thing: is like you can stop at any time. So
Woo.
the special rule for alcohol. Okay, so Lyra, if you want to hover at stage 1 plus, so just a little tipsy, you've made the saves to do that.
Dang.
So you just like
Pound of
you
that.
just you measure, even with the DC going up because you're drinking more and more and more. Ruckus, same thing. So you're actually able to keep up with Bort, and you get a +1 item bonus to saving throws against fear effects. So Lena, you're having a few as well. Okay, Lena, that puts you at stage 2, which is a +1 item bonus to saving throws against fear effects, and you are flat-footed basically until you stop drinking. Is anybody else having some alcohol? Thugrin, you roll me 1 fortitude save because you're only drinking 1.
Sure.
Unless you want to get tipsy. I mean,
No.
or a little
Just
buzz.
the
Okay,
one.
Oh, that
so
dwarven
Just
constitution.
the one.
you can be stone cold sober if you like.
Yeah. Just drinking for the taste. Really.
So yeah, so folks seem to get like, it seems like the music is getting louder, although it's just the one player. Eventually, dinner is served. So everyone receives wild game first, then turnip stew. These all come. They're not intended to be separate courses, but wild game, turnip stew, a seed cake. Mostly, it looks like most folks are drinking the turnip ale. Actually, the farmer down here with Ulf and Ulf, he is like definitely drinking wagon grease. So he's like pretty far towards shit-faced at this point, as you all begin to eat. Bort is having himself a good time. He is eating him some wild game. And he says, well, why don't you all tell me a little bit about wait, you've told me a little bit about yourselves. I'm sorry. It's just, I've only had, maybe 7 drinks. Have I told you the time that I got Phrasma's comb?
Who?
He looks expectantly.
Oh no!
Don't encourage
So
it.
So
The
one
Graves
day, I was crossing the waters of Lake Incarthen on my boat, and we were set upon by a mighty storm, and our ship capsized. As the sea took me, I grabbed hold of one of my treasured lockboxes as I slid beneath the waves, sure that I would never see this lovely hamlet again. Luckily, I awoke in front of Pharasma, about to be judged. I was only a young dwarf, 125. I wasn't ready to go yet.
Youngling.
But the Lady of Waves could not decide my fate because her hair was being tousled by the storm winds that brought me there to her realm. I didn't want to be inconsiderate, you see. She was a lady and a goddess. So I dug through my lockbox and I found a silver comb that she could use to tame her beautiful hair. So impressed was she by my rich gift that she returned me and my entire crew to the shores of Lake Incarthan alive and well. It was one of my finest days.
Fake. He's lying. Doesn't make any sense. Why would Pharasma need a comb? She's a goddess.
Actually, I think I still have everybody's perception DCs. Hold on. Never mind the fact that I'm asking about your perception DCs. No metagaming.
Will disbelief.
Oh, don't worry, Ruckus is gonna believe it because he's gonna try and up the story when he retells it. Tries to add embellishments.
Oh.
Appropriately, Thugrin and Lena are fairly skeptical. Everybody else thinks he sure seems like he believes what he's saying. I mean,
Arter
does
is
the Lady
skeptical.
of Graves return people from the dead? Maybe. Seems
I mean,
weird.
And people can believe things that aren't true as well. And really, truth is subjective, right? So
Arter is skeptical just on the grounds that he called her the Lady of Waves. Honest mistake, or not, Patrick. That's headcanon now.
Pharasma. Pharasma.
I mean, he's drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so is everybody eating dinner? Dinner has been served to you.
Yeah.
I share mine outside with Oakenclaw.
Yeah, so they are willing, it is actually this guy who approaches you, and he says, well, I heard that you didn't want the meat, but then I saw you had a little creature there, and, well, here's everything. So he sort of gives you everything, and then just walks back inside.
Thank you. I'll throw the meat scraps to Oakenclaw and eat the turnips.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good hunt. It's roasted. They just called it wild game, so it's probably too big to be rabbit, but maybe it's boar or deer or something along those lines. You do notice that Trin seems to be listening as Bort is telling any of his stories. She's like, she's as he sort, because he kind of goes up and goes down and goes up and goes down, and when he gets really into one of his stories, she kind of approaches and starts to, and then maybe notices that she has neglected the food that's sitting in her hand. She goes off to serve some food. As you finish dinner, Conral comes up and he delivers another drink to Bort. So Trin's like down here at this point. You don't know this guy's name, but I just said his name. His name is Fulmer. He comes up and he drops off another drink to Bort. And you can see Bort slips him a few copper pieces and then pulls out of a pack he has a large bowl. And it's the couple of you who are sitting next to him, Aviana and Ruckus, can see that it's an engraved bowl, and it's it's a big bowl. He gives it to Colneral along with the money. Colneral pockets it and takes the bowl back.
Does the
toward
bowl
kitchen.
look like the size of the indentation on the Plaguestone?
It's probably bigger than that, actually.
Okay.
And then a couple of minutes later, he will return. And dessert starts to be served.
Dessert.
Wow.
Yeah, so
This
dessert is dropped off, and you can see Bort's eyes are practically gleaming. Colneral tells you all that this is turnip porridge, and Bort
Oh
says,
God.
not any turnip porridge. This is spiced turnip porridge. This is why I stop here every time. It's mark my words, the best dessert you will ever have. And my compliments to Amora. Colneral just sort of nods, and then goes and delivers more dessert. And about a minute later, so he has some dessert for these folks down here, and he kind of bumps into this farmer, this already quite intoxicated farmer down here, and spills his wagon grease all over him. The farmer stands up and says, "Hey, what are you doing? You knocked my drink all over me," and he slugs the server.
Oh, jeez.
Just smack, and Colneral is just out, and this farmer over here and this farmer over here, they're like, "What? Did you see that? What? Fight!" And then everybody just it devolves really quickly in a couple of seconds into a brawl. Lyra, this you can see it's just maybe this is the most exciting thing that's happened to them in 20 years. It's hard to say, but everybody appears to be geared up for a fight, and
Maybe
this
it happens every night.
farmer lunges toward you. And next week we're gonna have a barroom brawl,
Bar
guys.
fight!
Oh boy.
Tavern brawl.
Bar fight! Cool. Glad I'm outside.
Cool.
Just watch everything happen alright.
Well, we didn't start in a tavern, but we got there pretty
Yeah.
quick.
You did.
Yeah. Well, this quiet little hamlet ain't so quiet no more. Bet you're gonna get one shot. This is like a level 20 villager.
Guitars are gonna deck you.
Whack.
Good thing I made those saves.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it's an opportunity to counter-performance that horrible bard.
That's true, you can.
Aw. I thought he would be good. He's like the archetypical bard, you know? Oh well. Well, bar fight next week on Really Playing Games.
Oh man.
Fall of Plaguestone due to bar fighting.